Sit down, get my famous sitting down thing. Get ready.
You were so funny.
He really is
I'm really not.
the
No.
funniest jokester.
All right, it's your feeling.
Welcome everybody to the Pull Up Experience Podcast Edition. We usually only film twice a week, y'all, but this week
We had to.
we could not let it go by. It's Sunday and we have been blessed with
Already.
the angel, Miss Angel Jacobs. She is out here developing us, helping us to develop our skill set. And one big skill that she makes sure she reminds us of is that hustle is a skill. Shout out to her for sponsoring this episode. As you can see, our lovely hoodies, they are on sale as we speak. The
She
link
wanna
will
like me,
be
y'all.
in the description. Y'all know I had it on first just because he said that. He wouldn't have switched his whole wardrobe, but you know, that's a whole nother thing. People trying to hustle to be like me. We also have mugs, pins, and other things available in her store. I definitely want you guys to go and check her out using the links in the description box. But though, if you do not know who this is, on Instagram, you can find her at Hustle is a Skill, but this is a Lady J.
Hey.
And this lady right here is one phenomenal woman. Not only does she speak to you, she will speak through you and help push you past just thinking of the goal, but actually inspiring you to move forward towards it. Not only with her clothing and the brand design, but just the dynamic that she brings to the city. I know a lot of you already know her, so allow me to reintroduce Miss Angel Jacobs. How are you today?
I'm good. Y'all so dope.
Nakia and Marquita took away my phone, y'all, so I got the clap, so we're going to do this.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, we didn't do a real
Y'all
job. We
is
took
dope.
it away. Y'all are
Y'all is
welcome.
dope. I appreciate it.
Now, I can't do half the justice that you can. Please let the people know,
Let them know.
who they playing with.
Ooh. What's up, family? Right? What's up, family? I am Angel Jacobs. The brand is Hustle is a Skill. And let's just be clear about what that is, right? Because there's some confusion oftentimes about what hustle is a skill means, right? Because everybody has something, a gift, a talent, something that you bring to the table. Your job, your obligation, if you will, is to be the real MVP of your lane.
Yes.
That's what your job is, right? So it's not just my hustle as a skill. It is your hustle, it is your gift, it is your talent, it is whatever that you bring to the table. And your job is to make sure that you do it in such a way, right? That you do it in such a way that it is the real MVP. And then you can switch lanes. Let no one tell you that you got to stay in your lane. What I'm asking you to do is be the real MVP of your lane and then graduate into switching lanes if you so choose to do so. Now, I'm Angel. I'm Hustle is a Skill. Hustle is a Skill is a complimentary commemoration to the death of my brother. Those of you all who know me, and for those of you all who don't, my brother Michael Jacobs, who is actually Hustle is a Skill, the mantra is not mine. Right? Which is why it's so imperative that people understand where it comes from. The mantra is actually a reflection of my brother. He passed in August of 2019, and it was him who said, hustle is a skill, right? It was his tagline, his IG, it was all of that. It was what he believed in. So what better way to create a memory, a legacy for someone than to give legs, right, to what they believed in. So that's where hustle as a skill is. It's a mindset. And so what is it? I do a lot of different things. We can talk about it as the show progresses. But at the end of the day, the essence of hustle as a skill is a mindset. And we all have that. It's not just for me. It's for you too, right? So make your hustle a skill.
I love it. And I love how, because that's why I want to jump on the ode to your brother. I love that you are living a legacy for him, because a lot of us, we take hardships
For sure.
and we kind of just try to find a way to get through. But not only have you figured out a way to get through, you are actually filling out a way to bring surplus to it, bring even more of a meaning and to live in abundance with it. So you're not only or you're not in a season of mourning his death as much as you are in this forever season of celebrating his life.
For sure.
And I love that about you, because you are one lady who will edify you to the depths of earth. I feel like that is one of the best gifts you have. Your speaking ability, because you command a room and you command attention. But it's not just the tonality of your voice. It's the power in the words behind
And
it.
impact too.
Yes.
You really blessed
She
us,
just
Jill.
spoke to Brandon in 3 minutes and came about to shed a tear.
I'm over here like,
He ready for his collection plate.
Right,
I don't
yeah.
even understand what's going on.
No, but you're right though, and you don't know it until it happens, right? Which is why everybody, you have to continue to push forward no matter what's going on with your situation, because purpose came out of pain.
Amen.
Right? It did. Purpose came out of pain, and could you imagine that it would be that way? No, because you never know what level and what ceiling you will bust through until your back is against the wall. Right? When your back is against the wall is when you'll find that inner strength that'll say, how much further can you go? And when Michael passed, my back was against the wall. He left here 2 wonderful children, my nieces. And one of the things that he said to me before he passed was, hey sis, you got to take care of the kids, right? Because he had knew at a moment that he was getting ready to transition. And he was very clear about what my next steps were. And so I remember lots of what he said to me. Now his voice is so powerful and so loud, right? When it wasn't quite as loud when he was here. So I really would like for us to get over that noise too, right? Give people their flowers, while they're here. Okay, speak to somebody on that. And then when you have people in your circle who are trying to give you jewels and gems of elevation, receive them immediately. Do you feel me, family? Receive them immediately. Do not be like your girl and wait for somebody to pass on for their voice to be ever so loud to you. I'll give you a quick example. My brother used to tell me, I was a few years back, maybe 2016, 17, I was like, I gotta start working on my credit. This is crazy, right? We start talking about credit a little bit. And so I spent 2017, latter part of 17 into 18 doing all this research about my credit, right? I'm gonna get my credit together, okay? I'm about to be out here. I want to pop collars. It's time, right? And so I started to do all of these things, and I would go every Sunday over to my mother's house after church, and my brother would be there, and he would be like, ain't nobody got time to keep listening to you with that, sis. Like, all right. My brother was a laborer. He worked with his hands. And so, and we grew up in a place where you don't work, you don't eat.
Yeah.
And he like, girl, nobody got time for all of that, right? And so I did all of what I was going to do, because you got to be you. And so long story short, I walked into the bank one day and I applied for a mortgage. You can respect this, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. I walked into the bank and I applied for a mortgage, and they gave me a pre-approval letter. Will you confirm? They gave me a pre-approval letter. So I called my brother, right? Because I'm let's go take shots. Like I didn't
Time to celebrate.
I didn't kill the game, right? I didn't call him like Mike. He like, what you so happy about? I'm like, ooh, I was not looking for that. Okay. Sis was looking for a little affirmation, a little go girl, you did that. Like, he like, meet me up at Chase. Now, I was at my credit union at the time, and I was like, me too at Chase. I'm like, Lord child, this man that got in trouble. And since I was so excited, I didn't even ask. So I was just like, oh, Lord, if I got to go to the bank, I was like, I'm going to have to give him a whole lot of money. What's happening here? So I was like, all right, he ain't in jail because he called me. So I get to the bank, I pull up at Chase, and I pull up to his truck, and this is the essence of hustle as a skill. He looks me in my face, and I said, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm angry a little bit at him, right? I'm like, what's up? He like, go in the bank and run the play again. I'm like, that's not how that work, right? I'm like, that's not how that work. He said, says who? I was just like, says life. Like, that's just not how this works, bro. I was like, I got my letter from the credit union. I'm going to take the next steps. And he was like, look here, sis. Like, we don't know who child you is. You got a great work ethic, which is why everybody wants you to be in a workspace with them, because your work is unbelievable, but you got no hustle. You got no hustle. I was like, excuse me, sir? Right? Be careful about talking greasy. Okay? And he said, but you got no hustle. And I said, well, I don't understand. He said, listen, we ain't got a lot of time. The bank getting ready to close. Go into the bank and ask them for the same process that you did at the credit union. I walked into the bank. first got myself together because I was already emotional.
Mm-hmm.
Got myself together, and I had all the paperwork with me because remember I just left the company.
Oh my goodness.
You see what I'm saying? So you feel where the hustle is coming from.
I know
You
you're
feel
going.
me?
Your brother hit the foresight.
You
Ooh.
see what I'm saying? So I walk in there and I said to the lady in a very timid voice, so the next time you go do something, raise your shoulders, lift your head up, and expect the answers that you want. So I walked in there unlike I was supposed to, and I said, well, I think I want to apply for a mortgage. And the lady was like, okay, well, I'll give you an application, yada, yada, yada.
Mm-hmm.
Long story short, I said, no, I need you to run my credit now.
Yeah.
I need to fill out the application now. I need to move expeditiously now. I text my brother at the table and he was like, are you doing it now? I said, yes. Hour and 45 minutes later, I walked out of Chase Bank with another pre-approval letter. Here's the point, family. This is where my brother was trying to explain to me that I didn't have any hustle. Let nobody tell you that your hustle has to be something negative, derogatory. Your hustle is just whatever you're doing. He told me to have a Marshawn Lynch mentality. He said, we are here in the red zone, getting ready to cross into a touch zone, and I need you to drag them across the line. I don't need you to drag them one at a time. I need you to drag as many of them across the line as you can. So what I did was I walked away with 2 pre-approval letters on that same day, and that is actually how I started my real estate journey.
Woo.
You did?
Wow.
Right?
That's all you need.
Right? Right?
Wow.
All of that to say,
We'll talk about that another time. Kid.
and but how did you get into real estate? That's how I got into real estate. Again, based upon a mindset that hustle is a skill that you can apply to anything that you're doing. Not just what I'm doing, but anything that you are doing. And so I ran the play again because we don't have to recreate anything. Once the play is ran, you just adapt and adjust. Right? So 30 days later, I ran the exact same play, drug 2 more across the line, and now we're off and running. They realized at that point that they were like, oh, okay, well, you can't be living in all of these homes owner occupied, so you're going to need now 20% because you are now an investor. I said, who's an investor? They said, you. I said, who, me? You see how God will walk you right into your purpose? Will walk you right into something that you wouldn't have called for yourself? I turned around and was like, oh, y'all talking to me like I got money. I don't got no money. You understand? I was like, I don't got no money.
Get so down, get so down.
Keep it going.
No,
Keep
'cause
it
man.
going.
Right? So I was like, wait a minute. So I had to go and collect myself. So I was like, all right, but I couldn't deal with it at the moment. So the real estate journey continues. I ended up having to figure out, well, what I'm doing here is buying and holding, right? So now I got 30 days, 60 at best, before these mortgages start to hit on credit side. Feel me? There is a skill to this family. There is a skill to and of expeditious move, which means when you write the plan, you gotta move, you gotta execute. See, we got a lot of good ideas, a lot of great ideas, a lot of brilliant people running around this atmosphere, but what we don't have is a lot of pristine execution, right? Which means you gotta write this thing down. I'm never nowhere without my notes. You feel me? Never be ashamed about your notes. I got a journal now that I sell for $10 to $15 because writing it down, pen to paper, is imperative to your success. You understand what I'm saying? It is imperative to your success. So I ran the play again. I went and I got me some tenants. I put the tenants in. I got the houses ready. I made them rent ready. So by the time those mortgages began to hit, always having, here's a jewel, if you're going to do real estate, always have enough extra disposable capital to take care of said mortgages for at least 60 to 90 days, right? If you don't need them, you don't need them, but you want to make sure that you're able to do so if necessary. And then all of a sudden, I looked up a few years later and I was a real estate investor.
Ooh.
Hustle is a skill.
Man.
It's a skill.
It's a mindset, family, and it's not just mine, it's yours.
Ooh, man. Angel, Lord Jesus. Like,
You better
we gotta break that down because, you know what I'm saying? We didn't want to get in the real estate side, but she really just gave y'all a whole
The
play.
whole
Hey,
play.
you like, well, what do you do? Well, this is what I do. The hustle as a skill is the brand. Yes, it's my baby, but it is the mindset that helps me do the other things that I do. And so when I'm out here in these Cleveland streets, I'm pulling up the pull-up experience on people to bless them with the visual of their own greatness. So I go and I support people. I spend money with people, black dollars with people. I go and I help out and I roll my sleeves up and I ask them, what is it that you need me to do? So when I come to the table, I am coming in assistance. They say, well, what are you doing, Angel? I see greatness in people. And then I help them see that greatness too. Then we have to put a little bit of structure to that greatness so that we can figure out how to scale you from thought to actual execution. And that comes with a little bit of understanding, but that's a whole nother separate conversation.
Ooh.
But that's what I do. That's what I do. I'm a hope dealer. I sell hope. I'm a hope dealer.
Ooh,
I
this
sell
just
hope.
as addictive.
Man, ooh, Angel, I wish I had my bonds tonight. I got my bonds, man. 'cause
Drop fire in the chat. Drop fire in the chat.
Right, she is dropping them tonight, man.
Powerful when I tell
Powerful.
y'all.
I appreciate y'all.
This was Angel has been out here, like she said, for a minute now. A few years has really, her life has been on a crazy trajectory, upward spiral, continuing to grow, continuing to build, continuing to sow seeds of abundance and speak life into situations. What I love about you is not only do you have the vision, like you can see where it could be. A lot of people got vision and they goals and plans.
This is true.
But you also have sight. You know where we're starting at, and you're able to use your sight to get to the vision. I think a lot of people either have one or the other. They only see where it is, so they stuck where they at, or they only have vision and they only see what it could be, but for whatever reason it's a jumble about how to get there. And I love that you pair the two so well. Like you said, not only for yourself, but for others. And not only do I say, do this, do that, do this, do that. You roll up these nice, comfortable sleeves on these pretty hands.
By the way, yes, this
It feels
is
so good.
like cashmere. You
feel
know
like
what
money.
I mean?
Baby, you wear these things feeling like money. I know I look like money, but it feels good.
It feel
on
good.
you.
on,
I
come
like
on,
the stuff that
come
feel good
on.
on your skin. Good quality stuff.
Come on.
Ooh, and it's affordable. You know, that's
Come
my type
on.
of girl. But so how has that process been for you? Because a lot of times people will hear you, but they don't listen to what you're saying, and they don't move. Either they don't execute, or they try to execute but don't execute at excellence. So how has that process been for you to make sure that people are working together,
Ooh, this gonna be good.
and kind of depending on one another to help you where you may be lacking, so that until you're able to build it yourself, build that skill and continue that hustle.
Ooh, this is perfect. This is perfect. Ooh, you doing a good job. Ooh, she doing a good job. Ooh, you doing a good job.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Two things are critical, right? And if you are watching, I need you to write this down. This is how important it is for me, for you all to get it for real, right? I want you to write it down because this is critical. The mindset of surviving, right? Culturalistically, as a people, we know how to survive. Nobody knows more how to survive than African American people.
Facts.
That's just it. We know how to survive. Here's where I need you to grow. We have to help not just yourself, but others move from surviving to thriving, because thriving is your portion. Thriving is your portion. And so you say, well, how do you get there? For me, I understood one great point is that elevation is a collaborative sport.
The pull up.
That's it. I got nothing else for you. Like there's no bombs over Baghdad. Elevation is a collaborative sport. Now we'll dive into that, but here's what you should have wrote down. You should have wrote down surviving to thriving, because that's the shift. You have to move your mindset. Nothing that somebody asks you to do should have an action before you talk about your mind. Somebody asks you to do something, you should say, wait a second, and figure out where your head is first. You may not be in the emotional state to deal with what they're telling you. Mindset, surviving to thriving. And that's going to happen at different rates for different reasons for different people. But it's the same across the board. You have to move. There is no other way. And I mean this from the depths of my soul. I love y'all for real. You have to move from surviving to thriving to get anything else done. And once you do that, you'll understand that elevation is a collaborative sport. I need you to win, Beneficial Bay. I need you to win, not your average agent. I need you to win so that I can win.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, the mindset is different. If I don't need you to win, then I'm being selfish in my own gift. What is that about? I need you to win. And so part of my obligation, because I've already coined that I need you to win, is that what can I do to help you win? You want me to pull up where? What do you want me to do when I get there? Right? Now have an agenda for me. Be ready for me. Right? That's you in the wee hours of the night trying to figure out what your plan is. Right? So let's not just talk everybody to death. You should have a plan, ladies and gentlemen. You should have a plan that you can execute with steps that follow one after another, so that if you do make a misstep, that you can adjust that thing quickly, which means you have to have it written already. But you have to understand that surviving to thriving has to be your mindset, and elevation is a collaborative sport. That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Man, you got it. Man, my brain is.
I'll give you the class. I ain't gonna tell you how your bomb on your phone.
Oh yeah, listen. I'm bringing back that episode, y'all. I'm bringing it back.
And it ain't gonna be this powerful.
Because because I know Angel, because the great thing that I always see Angel, and I promise you, it motivates me to be more supportive. I thought I was supportive. I ain't got nothing on Angel. You know what I'm saying? And I think that what she said is so powerful, and I want you guys to miss that, because I feel like I say superpower, or where my blessings come from, is me support other people.
That's good.
And being able to give them a platform, or whatever it may be, to put them on and not expect anything from it. Yeah. And you'll be surprised how out of that, you will get so much more blessed in your life and in your business, or whatever it is. Yeah. Because people say all the time, hey, you might post this real quick, how much you charge? I'll charge nothing. It's free. It's free. What do you mean? And people like, you got a big following, or how you got the follow? It came from me supporting others, and then them supporting me, and not ask for anything back in return. It's just it's a great feeling, guys. And like I said, you are the first lady of that.
Oh, I appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying? Like I look at Angel like I set my game up. You know what I'm saying? So I want to give you your flowers.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. The collective, so there's two things here that we're going to attach to the word collective. Collective responsibility and collective bargaining. So yes, we all have some intellectual property that you should charge for. Okay, let's be clear, family. If you have something that you do, absolutely, right, and you can do it well, yes, you should charge whatever your gift and your talent is. Right, there is a collective bargaining that needs to happen amongst us. Right, I should not expect you to do things for free. Right, and who was it that said the price today is not the price tomorrow? Was it tomorrow's price? What had
Yesterday's price.
Yesterday's price. Okay, yeah. Right. But in the same spirit, though, there's a collective responsibility as well, which is why at the top of the year I kept screaming that it was Ujima All 2022.
Yes, I love it.
Because Ujima is the principle that says that it is a collective responsibility for both me and you. Going back to the fact that I said I need them to win. Yes. Right, I need you to win. Right, and the operative word, the word that keeps coming up, is collective. Collective. It's almost a cousin to collaboration, which is what I just told you, that elevation is a collaborative sport. And so when we start thinking outside of the box, like let's dead this noise right here. This whole get it out. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Let's keep it 100. This whole get it out of the mud thing, that's dead.
Oh yeah.
That's dead. That's dead. And if somebody asks you why you dead and you tell them you send them to me, it's dead. That's dead. Why is it dead though? Because if I'm going to get it out of the mud, that's for a moment in time. Getting it out of the mud is for a generation. We should not be passing down the mud. We should not be passing down the mud to our loved ones, to our family, our friends, or anybody who is listening to us. You shouldn't be passing down the mud. So if you are getting it out of the mud, hurry up and get it out the mud. Because then what you're supposed to do is turn around and give me some intel, some jewels, some gems, some intellect, some information that I no longer have to get it out of the mud because you already got it out of the mud. So passing down the mud, that's dead. Feel me? Marcus Garvey said this, and so you don't have to think this is just me. Marcus Garvey, our ancestors, you can Google it, said this: a people, that's me and you, okay? A people without information, knowledge, and exposure to their culture is like a tree with no roots. This is your ancestor, Marcus Garvey said. You understand what I'm saying? Now, what does he mean by that? I'm going to make it plain for you in the 2022 here. If I'm telling you that if I don't have access to information, intel, I don't understand my culture and respect it and honor it, then I'm just a tree without any roots. If we all did this, if we all became roots for one another, Tell me how much better this world would be. Because any big tree in the front of anybody's house, those roots is tearing up basements and all kinds of cement. But what are they looking for? They're looking for water sources. What if I became a water source for you? What if Beneficial Bay became a water source for me? Right? The tree begins to have roots. What we have done, which isn't our cultural norm. Okay, we were brought over here. That's a whole nother situation, right? And we were shifted in our mindset because culturally we have been raised to love and celebrate one another.
Yeah.
Okay, so that mindset shifted when we were brought over here. So do not let oppression and the oppressed situation that we have had to face change you from your cultural norm. Our cultural norm is to love our brothers and sisters, to help them in any way possible. You think Harriet was running back and forth 1,900 times trying to get her people because she didn't believe in the freedom? She believed in the freedom, so she took the trip. Now here's another jewel here too. You cannot help people who do not want to be helped. That's my Harriet Tubman for you. You cannot help people who do not want to be helped. So do not waste your time and your precious energy trying to help people who not ready yet. Who not ready yet. There are people that are around you in your family sitting right next to you right now who are listening to you, who believe in you, and you know that they're not ready yet. Your job is to give them information to get them ready, but help those who are ready. Help those who are ready. You keep informing and praying and whatever it is that you want to do for those who ain't ready yet. But those who are ready, it's go time. You go time. It is go time. You feel me?
Angel, you. I hope y'all pencils should be burning on that pad.
It's Ujima all 2022.
All 22.
Come on.
You need to get that. You get that on the hoodie. I'm rocking that. I'm rocking all day.
Come on.
Ujima all day. Tight episode? No, we'll work.
Come on.
We're gonna later.
That's it. I love when I go to both of your pages, your individual pages, and I see value. I see value. I see the information that you're giving to people on your platforms to help them either understand a point or get to another level of information. That is providing value. And what happens when you provide value? You then provide impact. That is what we are all striving to do. That's what we should all be striving to do, is to provide value and impact. And the greatest way that you provide value and impact is that you help.
Because you do that a lot too.
This is what we're supposed to do. This is what we're supposed to do. So I audit my circle all the time. Because if I go on your page too much and you're not providing any value or impacting or helping, I don't need to be in that space. Okay? You got to be careful about what goes into your ear gates and your eye gates. Right? And don't you ever get so bougie or so full of yourself that you feel like you can handle it. You cannot. If you sit in the dark long enough, you will not be able to see. You did? If you sit in the dark long enough, you will not be able to see. So when I see a whole lot of negativity going on over here to the left, I give it a moment, because everybody has a moment. You know, you might need a break. But if I return and said negativity is still happening, then I have to exit myself stage left. I can't control people, but I can control me. Right? That's a mindset. I can't control people, nor do I want to control people, but I can control me. So if you're not providing value, if you're not providing an impact, if you're not providing help, then I don't know if we are in the same fight, right? And I want to be around like-minded people that are in the same fight, because we ain't really got a lot of time. The gun went off and our counterparts went around the track 4 times before they even let us out the gate. So do I have time to sit in the dark with you? I do not. I do not. I do not have time to sit in the dark with you, even if it's involuntary. At some point, I have to realize that this space is a little too dark for me, which is why I don't take shots to elevate myself. When I am promoting somebody or supporting somebody, you don't have to take shots at anybody else in the city to do so, right? Your shine and your light ain't gonna dim nobody else's. Just keep pressing toward the goal. Keep your eye focused on the goal. I was talking to them earlier today. Do you ever see McDonald's and Burger King in the streets going to war? You do not. Why? Because they flipping their burgers and frying their fries the way that they do it. The recipes are different. The product is the same. Do I care that somebody else is making t-shirts out here? Absolutely not. Do I care if somebody else comes up and makes a mug or journal or anything else? Absolutely not. Because that's not what I'm selling. That's just a product.
Right.
That's what a product. I want you to feel some kind of way when you have on something of mine. When you're writing in some of mine, drinking from something of mine, burning a candle of mine. I want you to feel powerful in your own right. I want you to remember this conversation that we are having. I want you to say that there is a hustle that I have, that I can now make a skill. I want you to learn from all of my mistakes, which is why I'm so open and transparent about my mistakes. My greatest gift, when they ask me what my gift is, my greatest gift is I tell you what I did wrong. Because that idea of getting it out of the mud is to be dead. So I tell you what I'm doing wrong so that you don't have to do it. So when you put on something of mine, I want you to feel powerful in that. I want you to feel like whatever it is you thought yesterday you couldn't do, you can do today. That's what hustle is a skill is. That's why I tell you I sell hope. I'm a hope dealer. You feel me?
So, because paints a purpose. That's how a lot of our things get started anyways, whether we realize it or not. Because it's one way to just, it's like a self-therapy. It's almost like a self-exercise just to do something. And we usually choose to do something productive that already flows with us. So what are, I guess you could say, some mistakes that you've made and you've been able to navigate out of?
I was going to ask that.
We know.
We think a lot.
They manifest. You see the manifestation? You see what I'm saying? When you surround yourself with like-minded people, you start to be great together.
That's a fact.
You feel me?
That's a fact. I was about to ask that though. That's good.
No, it's a good question. Here's what I believe is a little bit, I don't want to say different, because I think a lot of people do it. I just think that I am more prevalent to expose it. Right? So not that it's different, but I will expose it more. I'm not afraid to fail. And I'm not afraid to fail publicly. And that's where a lot of people will get in bondage. They'll get caught right there in that moment because they're trying their desperately best, right, to produce something good, right, to give us something good. And they don't want to not give us something good, so they won't even try sometimes. They won't even try sometimes because it's not perfected. And perfection you cannot chase. This you should write down as well.
For sure.
The only thing that any of us should be chasing is progress. That's it. You understand what I'm saying?
Where's my bombs
If
at?
somebody tells you to chase a perfected state, it does not exist. It does not. So let me free you from that right now. Let me break that chain off of you right now. There are some of you sitting, listening right now who have dreams and aspirations, who have already done something. Maybe it didn't go as well as you thought it was. I am telling you to try again. I am telling you to write down what your mistakes were. Learn from those mistakes and then reinvent yourself again. The idea that things have to be perfect is nonsense. And it is noise. And what I have learned to do is to go ahead and jump. Now, I do have a high risk tolerance. My friends will tell you. My risk tolerance is a little bit higher than most. Because I come from a place where I jump off the bridge. I learn on the way down. I climb back ways up with all of what I need. And not everybody is willing to do that. It is risky, and it does take a little bit of crazy.
That's my exact
right. It take a little bit of crazy, but it's because here's another one of my flaws. I do not have a lot of patience, and because I don't, God is working on me. But because I don't have a lot of patience, I will jump because I don't have a lot of patience. But I do jump with a strategic thought that whatever it is that I can't do, I'm supposed to learn on my way down. Because when I come back up, I'm coming. I'm coming because I have gathered all the jewels, the bumps, the bruises, the hurdles, and all of what I need to be greater than what it was when I jumped on the way down. So I'm coming. It might take me just a little bit longer, But for me, it shortens the trip because I don't have a lot of patience. So I'm just going to jump out there and do something. If it doesn't work, I do credit the same way. I apply for something sometimes, and when somebody tells me that they didn't give it to me, I ask them why. So when they send that little letter or that little email that says you can contact us and correspond with us, and in the next 30 days, we'll send you a letter that says why, I want that. Because I want to know why. I go into the bank all the time and I talk to my banker all the time for no reason at all. I might go in there and deposit $5. But relationship is key. That's another Jewel.
Woo! Write that. Oh,
relationship is key. My friends tell me all the time, why do you keep physically going in the bank? It's the middle of a pandemic. Ain't nobody going to the bank no more. Hey, I must keep my relationship. I go in sometimes just to deposit $5 and walk past Carol's office. Hey, Carol, I hope you watching. And I be like, hey, Carol, how you doing? Right? Because when I call Carol and I ask her for a $100,000 loan, I need Carol to be like Angel.
I know you.
Okay. I need her to be like Angel. I need her to be like, this is what I need you to do to get to it. And if I don't have what it takes at the moment, or I don't have all my ducks in the row at the moment, I always leave with a attitude of I'll be back.
Yes.
Right? So do not get caught up in your losses. Don't get caught up in your no's. Don't get caught up in your failures. Those are going to go. I'm going to give you another one of your ancestors, Frederick Douglass. He said that there is no progress without struggle. There is no win without struggle. Which means that we got to all go through something.
That's right.
We all got to struggle through something to get to the other side. Your job is to be hustle as a skill. Your job is to figure out why you going over this thing, why you going through this thing, what are you supposed to be learning? So don't be doing all this emotional crying. Don't be trying to do all of this craziness. Your job is to write down every little piece of the puzzle that you missed so that you can be like, I'll be back. So when Carol told me I couldn't get the loan, I said, why? She gave me the 4 reasons why I couldn't get the loan. I said, cool. I spent the next 60, 90 days, whatever it was, fixing exactly what she said. So when I came back, I went in with my...
You got
me messed up. Because this is what you said. So I said, well, Carol, I fixed these things. These things that you said. And so now we are ready.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, you right. You right. I'm going to send this to the underwriter.
Hey, you feel me, man?
So... Not to cut you off, but I'm going to take it back a little bit. She said, you're not afraid to jump, but you will jump with strategic thoughts.
Oh, come on, sis.
So
don't forget that part.
Let's break down how you strategize that, because strategy is what's going to drive that hustle. And if you know what you're going in to do, or at least have I like to call it a flexible framework. Have some type of
good.
preparation.
Did y'all write that down? Flexible framework, which means you didn't already put it down on paper. You know what your blueprint is, but it's so flexible that if you need to go in and make an adjustment, come on, beneficial babe. She beneficial this evening. She dropped one on y'all real sexy like. She threw it in there.
So tell us more about your process, because that'll hold a lot of people back too. So since you're giving it away and you are so powerful this evening, just in your transparency through the process, can you break down that process for somebody who needs to get through it?
Absolutely. I write down everything. Everything. And I don't know if that may work. So I'm going to be honest. I don't know if that's going to work for everybody. But if you're asking me what works for me, if you're asking me what I can give to somebody else and hope that it will work for them, I write down everything. I blueprint it out. I will sit down and I will take whatever idea that I have, whatever goal that I have, and I'll write down what are the steps to get to that goal. Okay? What are the steps that I need to do in order to get to that goal? And then I'm tunnel vision. Then I work on that plan, however that plan may be. And then I move around flexible, beneficial gave it to you, flexible, things that I need to adjust. But I'm not ever recreating the entire plan. The plan and the blueprint was already written. The moment you get an idea, the moment you get a goal, the moment you are ready to execute, you write it down so that you can identify the gaps. You have to write this thing. There is nothing more concrete than pen to paper, right? You got a lot of people that be like, you know, I keep a lot of stuff in my head. That's slick talk. Okay? That's slick talk. I don't want you to be slick with yourself. Why would you be slick with yourself? There's no benefit in being slick with yourself. Write that thing down. It's the reason why I branded a journal, because it meant something to me. I branded a journal because and it's a lined journal with a pen, because I don't need you walking around talking about you ain't got no pen. You have to write that thing down so that you can see it. And then once you see it, you can be able to then offspring things. Well, I need this to do this and that to do this. And when you get a chance to look at the blueprint in its entirety, you can start to fill in the gaps. And then you know where you're strong and when you're weak. And then you can identify, where do I need to go get help from? Who do I need to go delegate to? What do I need to do in my self-development to get me to wherever my goal is? Who do I need to talk to who's already done it? Okay, don't be afraid to do that, right? What information do I need to go gather and research? That all this happens because I wrote down the plan. You have to write down the plan, family. You have to. You have to write down the plan. And then after you write down the plan, you have to have a talk with yourself. You got to look yourself in the mirror and say, are you ready? Or are you just playing games? And oftentimes we don't write the plan down because you playing games.
We say make it plain.
Make it plain. You got it in your head because you playing games. You don't execute like you supposed to execute because you playing games. You told Beneficial Bay that you was going to do this a year ago. She came and asked you, you was playing games. When you decided that you were going to do something, did you go research any information? No, because you was playing games. Did you go better yourself in any way? Gather any more intellectual property? Did you go get you some education on it? Did you make yourself a resource? No, because you were playing games. If you write it down, if you decide to write it down, you force yourself not to play games. Not to play games. Now, I wrote something down because I don't just be talking this talk. I'm going nowhere without my notes.
I'm buying a notebook tonight. I don't care.
And it's not just the notebook. What I love that, because that's where I was going with that, the journal part of it, because her journals do have pens and everything, and everything is so beautifully branded. So when you do see it, you writing in it, you writing with intention, because a notebook is a notebook, fine. But a Hustle is a Skill journal reminds me that when I'm writing out my plan, I'm writing with the intention and stuff like that.
Doing a good job.
No, but I'm serious. That's why I wanted her to say I'm gonna write it on down, because I wanted to get back to the fact that yes, we look good, but we move with intention, and I love that she brands that. Even waking up in the morning, you have coffee mugs. There's all different type of things. You are making moves with purpose, and you are persisting moves with your purpose.
Ooh, that's good.
So I love that.
Absolutely. Making moves with purpose. Y'all should have wrote that down. Making moves with purpose. Here's how I make things easy. We got 12 months in a year, right? If I tell you that I'm going to do something in a year, the time frame sounds long, right? Language is important. It just is, right? Language is important. So when I talk to people and I counsel them sometimes on what it is that they want to do, I have them break it down to me in 12 steps, right? Because 12 steps to your goal don't sound quite as long as I got all year to do it. Right? We're going to take that 12 steps that you decided is going to get you to your goal. You're going to spend 30 days per step executing the step. You feel me? 30 days you're going to spend on whatever step number 1 is. If you need more time or less or whatever, we have to gauge it. As she said, flexible. We will readjust. But if you write this thing down, you can identify what your 12 steps are. And then you can spend 30 days, right? So now you ain't really got time. You ain't got time to hate. You ain't got time to throw no shade. You ain't got time to do none of that negativity, because you got 12 months. You so focused because you didn't wrote out what the whole year focus is. You only got 12 months. You on the clock. You know why people go to work and they don't mess around? Because they on the clock. When you put yourself on the clock, your production goes up. Here's some P's. Y'all ready? Write them down. Give y'all a second. Pause. We back. Proper planning prevents piss poor performance. Proper planning. What does proper planning do, Angel?
repeat.
It prevents. What does it prevent? Piss poor performance. We're going to say it again because I want y'all to write this down. Right? Proper planning. Well, what does proper planning do, Angel? Proper planning, it prevents piss poor performance. If you embody that, and I'm talking about body it. I want you to go to sleep tonight with that on your brain. If you leave this podcast today, I want you to leave with 2 points. That elevation is a collaborative sport. Elevation is a collaborative sport. And then I want you to leave with the P's. I want you to understand that proper planning prevents piss poor performance. That way you challenge yourself to be great. I told you before that I look at people and I identify what their greatness is, and then I help them see it. I help them see their greatness so that they can do what? Prevent piss poor performance. I got to get you to a place where your mind is ready to execute, but not execute just willy-nilly. I need you to have a plan, a strategic plan. For 20 years, I'm an HR professional. I worked in human resource my entire life. This entrepreneurship game, this is not for the faint of heart. Okay? This ain't for everybody. So people talking about leave your 9 to 5. Don't you leave your 9 to 5. Okay? You stay right there at your 9 to 5. If you do have an entrepreneurial spirit and you do happen to have something that you would like to do that is embodied by just you, that is fine. But allow your 9 to 5 to fund that thing. Don't you just walk away. Don't you let these people gas you up and just get you all hyping yourself. Because they won't be there in the middle of the night when you're trying to figure this the fuck out. Do you feel me?
We feel you.
All right? So I need you to be planning at all times. I need you to understand the importance of the planning. It is to do something. It is to prevent. What is it to prevent? Your piss poor performance. If I want you to be great in the Maslow hierarchy of needs, there is this thing that has a domino effect. That I can't think about being great if I'm hungry. So I need you to figure out what you're hungry for. And I need you to appease that appetite. And then I need you to understand that it is only you that is standing in your way. Look to your left and to your right. None of that even matters. If you have something that you want to do, that it is God-given for you to do, can't nobody take your thunder. Can't nobody do it like you're going to do it. And how you understand that is you write it out. You put pen to paper and you write it out. You begin to work and invest. Pay some money to change your mindset. Start changing what you listen to. Pull up on the Pull Up Experience and check out all 30-something plus episodes that they running around the city, pulling up, talking to people who are getting it out of the mud, got it out of the mud, been done with the mud, and they are dropping off these jewels for you. So make it your business to pull up. They didn't put it out there as a link tree on their line. I saw it on their page. Couple little links in there because they strategically made it applicable for you to get to and easy for you to get to. I need you to invest in yourself. I need you to say that you are worth it. I need you to be like, I do have a dream, but I have no idea what I am doing. So I need you to figure out what that strategy is. Start having meaningful conversations. So you don't really have a lot of time, sisters and brothers. We got 12 months to the year. So you don't got time to be sitting in the dark, my friend. You don't have time for no negativity, no shade over here. You don't have time for none of that. And if you have to audit your circle on a monthly, then get to auditing. If that's what you have to do to be great. Surround yourself with people that are going to help you elevate to your next level, because I told you, and you can say it, that elevation is a collaborative sport. So start supporting some people. Where are you on your support game? Where are you on your pull-up game? What's the last thing you pulled up on? And when you pulled up there, did you offer your services?
This is the best interview ever.
Did you offer anything that you can do? Did you congratulate them on their dream? You'll be surprised what kind of internal reward happens when you congratulate somebody else on their dream, on the fact that they were able to execute on their dream. You might want to ask them, how did you execute? So that I don't have to get it out of the mud. I'm repeating the language over and over again because it is not rocket science, my friend. People can talk you to death. There are gurus out here all over the place charging $3,500 for 15 minutes of their time. That is bullshit, my friends. I am telling you that there are jewels in life that are consistent across the board for everybody to have. Your harvest is what you plant. If this is the seed that you want to do, you plant that thing and you run with it. You decide that you need help, you go find the help that you need. And for those people who have intellectual property that you need to get you to your next level, do you pay them? Absolutely. Because they're doing what you're doing. Okay? Now they've executed. And now they have a plan. And the link tree, click they link. And pay them what they, don't you ask no other black business about their prices. Their prices are their prices. You click the link and you get the intel that they have because they have spent the blood, the sweat, and the tears to gather that information for you, to wrap it up in a bow. It's almost like VIP parking. You pulled up and somebody else parked your car. So do you pay for that? Absolutely. To the tune of $20 to $30 per car. So if they have a price associated with their intellectual property, you should be honored to pay it. Why? Because you are also circulating the black dollar. So now we are back to collective bargaining and collective responsibility. It is Ujima all 2022. You dig?
Felt that one.
Come on, somebody. In the Jewish community, the dollar circulates 7 times before it leaves. I'll repeat, I'll wait. In the Jewish community, the dollar circulates 7 times before it leaves their community. Don't you ask me about you paying no black dollars nowhere. Don't you come to me and say that. Because what you're doing is trying to get to a place where you can charge for your intellectual property. Why wouldn't you pay them for theirs? Everybody has a hustle is a skill. But let's be very clear about what that is. Hustle is work. It is grind. It is people up at all hours of the night. It is people who are never sleeping, who dream, eat, sleep, drink about their thoughts, about how they can be great in whatever it is that God gave them. You can't put a price on it. But they happen to do it in a comparable, reasonable state. They put a small dollar amount on it. Don't you question them about their price. You ask them what it is that you can take from them so that you can go be great. And then you pull up on somebody else and you help them be great. That's called dominoes. Okay? That's dominoes, my friends.
Somebody's on fire, man.
Proper planning
It's on fire,
prevents
man.
piss poor performance. That's what you should have wrote down. Proper planning prevents piss poor performance. Don't let that be you. Don't let it be you.
Ooh, man, I don't be in the car. I'm gonna watch this about 3-4 times, man.
Right, please post it first before you try to watch it on yourself.
Yeah, you ain't never lied,
You gotta
man.
be
We in here.
I'm on place in the morning. Y'all talk about affirmations. Play it in the morning. Play it in the morning.
Right, it's a mixtape by itself.
Man, you ain't never lied.
We in
man.
here.
Ooh, and you was spitting today, man. You like it's Freestyle Friday. You the champ right now.
Right.
You was going. I don't think there's so many things I want to go back
she
over.
knocked them down.
I mean, down. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you said so many great things that our audience needs to. I hope y'all are taking it. I hope play it back. Do what you need to do. Because she is saying she is accumulate everything that we try to we try to do in the pull-up experience from collaboration to your work ethic is everything to I'm over here just.
She done affirmed everything that we've been working for the last 7 months of knowing each
Come
other,
on.
3 months on this podcast.
Come
just
on.
full force execution. And I love that even my pull-up partner right here, because you've been hitting on it. I don't know why God blessed us with you, but it was meant for you to be with us.
Absolutely.
Oh man,
Yes, it was meant for you to
Thank
even
you,
have
Jesus.
this conversation.
I received it.
It's been such a joy to have you.
This
here.
has been an honor.
Oh.
I mean, this has been an honor. I want to encourage you all to keep doing what you're doing. This can get tough, but what you all are doing is laying a foundation for people to be free. For people to be free. You're giving people an opportunity to speak on who they are, what they do, what they bring to the table. and you're allowing your audience near and far to witness it. Right? Which puts the links to the chain together. Right? And when you do that, you all are building what everybody is talking about, which is legacy. If you all should leave this earth today, you have left a legacy. You see what I'm saying?
Ooh,
You've left a legacy because the pull-up experience has now been coined. And I was sharing with them earlier today, don't you be worried about anybody else that is doing it. Right? Don't you be worried about nobody else that is doing. What you all are doing is special. This is really special. This is not only what the city needs, but what the culture needs.
Ooh.
What the culture needs. I'm grateful because I'm a Cleveland city girl that you are here in my city and not Houston or Atlanta or Texas or New York or whatever. I'm happy that you are here in my city for selfish reasons. But what I do know is that you all could go anywhere and do this because that's how gifted and how wonderful and how much of a blessing the art of what you're doing is. Because like I said earlier today, and this is not a shot, there are a select few that always get a lot of shine, and shots out to them because they've worked for that shine. They put down on paper and executed, and we don't even know for how long. Right? You can never gauge how long somebody's been at their grind, been at their work, been in prayer, been in their secret place, trying to figure out how to put the pieces of the puzzle together, their trials and their errors, they're redoing it, they're readjusting, their flexibility, as Beneficial Bay has mentioned. We don't never know that part because all we get to do is glorify the end results. That's what social media is. People are out here glorifying the social, and that's fine, and that is what it should be because nobody want to see a whole bunch of sad stories, so I understand it. But as an intellectual, you should know that there is something that those group of people have gone through. There's something that they have gone through that has allowed them to keep pushing and be stronger. So it is beneficial to us to ask them what those gems are. Now, some of those gems they'll give us for free, and some of those gems they won't. Either way, what I've always said is that we have everything we need inside the culture. We have everything that we need inside the culture. So if I allow you to be great, I expect and want for you to be great. Then you allow me to be great. I expect and want for me to be great. I expect and want for B to be great. And what happens, like the Jewish community, which is where we started with the circulation of the dollar, but 7 times before it leaves, is that not only does our dollar, but our intellect, our energy, our experiences circulate so much amongst each other that it strengthens us. That it strengthens us. So not only does the dollar circulate, which is why All-Star Weekend was so great. Shout out to Larice Purnell.
Shout out to you, Larice.
Right? Because that was so wonderful to look over Tower City's 3 floors of 200 black vendors, and they're spending money amongst each other, from the people who put the stage together, who put balloons up, to all the people who actually had tables. That was a beautiful example of how the domino works in fruition when it has completely been manifested. So if you take anything from this tonight, family and friends, I've done a lot of talking. I appreciate them for letting me be free.
Do your thing.
I appreciate them for letting me be free, right? Because this is a structured situation. Questions, and I suppose the answer.
No.
But we were free this evening.
That's right.
But what we want you to do is we want you to be free.
Ooh.
Right? We free in here. And when the lights go out and the cameras go off, we gonna speak life to each other. But before we do that, I want you to be free. I want you to release the shackles off your own feet. I want you to encourage yourself. Oftentimes we are out here looking for validation and affirmations from a whole bunch of different people, and sometimes when you don't get it, you feel depressed. Dead that. I want you to encourage yourself. I want you to say that the notes that you writ to that, and if you didn't write any notes, then rewind and write some notes and hold yourself accountable. Look yourself in the mirror tonight, and then when you awake tomorrow, and then the next day, and the next day. And when you don't feel like it, when you're not motivated, I want you to be disciplined. I want you to be disciplined. And there is a difference between discipline and motivation. That'll be round 2. But I want you to be disciplined. I want you to do
She
that.
coming back.
She coming back, y'all.
I want you to be disciplined. And what do I want you to be disciplined to? I want you to be disciplined to whatever you wrote. Whatever your pen to paper was. Whatever your plan is, your blueprint. I want you to be disciplined to that. It ain't going to be pretty every day. You're not going to feel motivated, but I want you to be disciplined to it. I want you to write out 12 goals for yourself. I want you to write out 12 goals. Well, Angel, the year done already started. I still want you to write out 12 goals. You might have a good month and you can double up. Have a spirit of double up on you. I want you to write out 12 goals. And I want you to start tomorrow and figuring out the rest of March on one goal. If you can complete it within March, then I want you to double up on that second one. I want you to spend the next month on the second goal. And I want you to reevaluate these goals each and every 30 days. I want you to adjust, flexible, like my girl said. I want you to adjust. I want you not to reinvent the plan. I want you to adjust to it, but I want you to stay in forward progress towards your goal. Not for me, not for B, not for Beneficial Bay. I want you to do this for you. Because again, I need you to be great. So if I see you in the streets, if we pull up, we're going to ask you, did you write down your 12 goals? Did you hear whatever number session this is? 35, 38, I don't know. Did you hear it? Did you do your homework? Or did you just listen for fun? Were you entertained? Did you entertain yourself? Or did you take it upon yourself to be accountable, to say, I'm going to leave here better than I came, and I'm going to take these said jewels and not just add to my jewelry box, but I'm going to execute them tomorrow. Tomorrow. I'm going to let you breathe for tonight. But tomorrow morning, when you wake up, and even if you're going to work, if you got to go to work at 9 o'clock, I suggest you wake up at 7. If you got to go to work at 7, I suggest you wake up at 5. But tomorrow you should start working on whatever your hustle is, a skill is. You dig?
Ooh.
Man. I got no words. I know.
So usually around this part, because this, what I love, this is episode 32.
Episode 32?
And that's Magic Johnson.
Yeah, I'm about to say Magic Johnson.
So she bought the magic for sure.
bring the
and I
magic
told y'all she's a
tonight.
powerhouse when I introduced her. So she reintroduced herself. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, there's nothing I could have said to give this lady justice.
My God.
But usually around this time on our normal structured podcast, we say something along the lines of,
No, you good.
this was amazing.
This is amazing.
Shoot. We usually say something along the lines of, hey, what are 3 jewels that you would want somebody who is listening to this podcast to get from this episode?
You didn't get
you do so much
you did the whole
out there.
bag. You
The
did
gym
the whole
drama
bag.
for
Right.
real.
I got 3 for you. It's going to be quick. Y'all ready? Y'all done heard them before. They're already in your spirit. Elevation is a collaborative sport. Gym number 1. Jewel number 1. Elevation is a collaborative sport. At this point, it should be written twice or 2 times, 3 times in your
This should be
notebook.
the top.
Elevation is a collaborative sport. Believe in that. Once you free yourself from that individualized thing, you will. I'm telling you, your journey will be great. Elevation is a collaborative sport. 2, believe in yourself. Why would you ask somebody else to believe in you if you don't believe in yourself? Believe in yourself, sis. Believe in yourself, bro. Believe in yourself. Whatever you got to do to shift your mindset from surviving to thriving. Believe in yourself. Jewel number 3. Now, this should be fresh on y'all paper. This should be fresh. Proper planning prevents piss poor performance. Proper planning prevents piss poor performance. That's your obligation.
You call it the push and P rule.
No, that's real.
Come on.
Right.
We pushing P's.
That's real pushing P.
We pushing P's. Those are your jewels. I want you to understand that elevation is a collaborative sport, right? Number 1. Number 2, I want you to believe in yourself. Number 3, while you're believing in yourself and understanding that elevation is a collaborative sport, I want you to remind yourself on a daily, every day, if you can, every day, right? that planning, proper planning, prevents piss poor performance, and you'll be good. You'll be good. I promise you, you'll be good. That's a Jewel.
So I want to know this because I mean, they see how phenomenal you are now. What's next up for you, Angel? What do you have planned for in the coming not even year? Just what's next for you? Because you doing it. We see that, you know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it.
But we know. But I want to know where you see God taking you next up.
That's an amazing question. Thank you for the opportunity. So, the brand gonna stay alive. Hustle is a skill is what it is. Like I told you, it's a commemoration of my brother. So that's gonna ride. We're gonna ride out on that. Now my business, Highest Enterprises, which encompasses Hustle is a skill. Everybody knows that I keep the lights on, the gas on, bread on the table, because I do real estate. So what's next for me is to transition my real estate journey in a more purposeful way. And so I want to give you all this as well. Find out what you want to do and then spin off of that thing. That's how you create streams of income as well. That's another podcast. But how you create streams of income is not creating different streams of income that don't have anything to do with one another. You create streams of income based upon a uniformed nucleus. And then you stream from the nucleus. So here's my nucleus stream. I am going to be creating a program called Safe Passage because my people need safe passage. And so I am going to be turning the real estate properties that I will be acquiring from this moment forward into safe passage homes for different populations. The first one will be for expecting mothers.
That's amazing.
It'll be for expecting mothers the ages of 18 to 25. Because what happens is we keep talking about generational wealth and all of these great fancy terms, but what does that mean? My people need education on what that means. So I'm going to put a couple of expecting mothers in a house so that they have a village, right? So that they have a resource to lean on. And then I'm going to go in with wraparound services. Not me though. I'm going to lean on the people around me because I needed them to be great. And so now it's time to come for them to be great. So they'll come in and they'll do certain classes like financial literacy, home ec. They'll figure out different things that these particular groups of people will need. Right? So that they can then be great, because what I want them to do is to graduate from their rental space. Because rental is a transitional mindset. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's transitional and it can be transient. Okay? And I want them to move into a more permanent mindset. So at the end of my program, Safe Passage, out here like Harriet Tubman, you feel me? After the end of the program, they will graduate into home ownership, because home ownership is where we start to build some legacy and generational wealth.
Count me in. I'm
You feel me?
Count
So
me in.
that's what's going to be next. So you all send some prayers up for your girl. I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be putting all of my 12-month steps and to figuring out how to execute the program of Safe Passage. And then I'm just going to repeat the cycle. We'll have houses for different groups of people depending on what they need. And then we'll match them with the wraparound services that they need so that they can be great, so that I can practice what I preach, which means I need you to be great so that we all can elevate.
Ooh. I love that.
For sure. For sure.
Count me in, by the way. I want to. I teach them credit. I can teach on home ownership.
See what I'm saying?
I'm all for it.
I'm gonna bring up, and
You know
that's
what I'm
what we
saying?
need. That's
I'm
what
all
we need.
for it. Oh,
Let's go.
that's dope. That's dope on so many levels. So you said so many great things, Angel. So where can the people reach you at? They want to say, Angel, I need your service. I need to be around your presence.
Right.
You know what
right.
I mean?
How can that work?
How can they reach you?
Come on. Okay, so my Instagram and Facebook page is the same. It's A Lady J. Right? So ALADYJ, ALADYJ. The brand page is My Hustle is a Skill. If you go to Hustle is a Skill, that would be my brother's page. All of his stuff is still up there. You can go and just surf around, and he was a wonderful father, so you'll see the nieces up there and all that good stuff. But the page for the brand itself is My Hustle is a Skill. Most of the time, I do a lot of promoting on my personal page, which is ALadyJ. I do have some other services that I render to people in the community. Like, for instance, if you need a notary, you can call me at 926-7955. You can also reach me at 1-833-624-HIGHEST, which is 4427. So you can get at me if you need something. I am here for it. I am a proponent of people who have spoke life into me. And so I, in return, in gratitude, will speak life into you.
And by the way, guys, if you guys will have that, if we write in show notes, so you don't have to go searching too far. We're gonna make it easiest for you as possible. No excuses. Now, you know what I'm saying? Angel laid it out there. Hit her up, guys, because I'm sorry tonight. No, I am so serious. I mean, you spoke it to me tonight.
I appreciate
y'all.
I need don't let me be free. I appreciate y'all.
We appreciate you for being comfortable enough to be free.
Exactly.
We love the fact that you came open, smiles, genuine, beautiful heart,
authentic,
branded, allowed us to pour into you before you even got here, and we just collectively built one another and kept that energy going from the time you agreed to come on, even when we had some hiccups, because y'all know Brandon is a scheduler. She didn't hold it against us. She did not hold it against us.
I know. Thank you for that. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. Yeah, you came and just, it's been a wonderful way to wrap a wonderful Sunday evening. I'm so thankful for you.
I appreciate y'all. Salute. I appreciate y'all.
So, Scott, what David Shands always said, we gotta pay some bills first, right?
Yeah.
So March 27th, y'all, we are at the 4P show, right?
Nice.
4450 Mayfield Road, South Euclid, Ohio,
yes.
44121. That's the 4, F-O-U-R, Bistro and Lounge. Pull up on us. We are doing our signature speed networking event. One-on-one interactions, 4 minutes each. We come, you say who you are, I say who I am.
Nice.
Whether I can or can't use you, I might know somebody who can.
Absolutely.
We exchange contact information. Whether you do or don't like me, it's only 4 minutes, non-committal. I get up, keep it moving, and we do the same thing. So we are networking with intention. Not only so we can get to know one another, but we can figure out how to hit that Ujima 2022. Yeah, we gotta keep it moving, right? So that will be Sunday, March 27th at 1 o'clock. Please be on time, y'all, because once the tables get to moving, I need everybody to be in sync. Okay?
And hurry up, guys, because I think we only got like 15 tickets left, guys. So
yeah, they've been going like
they've been going. You know what I'm saying? It's hot outside. The mask, COVID, they no longer issue. So come on, y'all better come on. Stop playing. But yeah, we want to see y'all there. So y'all can meet great people like Angel.
Absolutely.
I'll be in the building.
You'll be in the building.
Definitely
man, listen. We gonna shut it down with Angel, y'all.
Hey, they're gonna be like, wait, can we get turned up? Switch again. Hey,
I'm in the building.
Right.
I'm in the building.
Oh, in episode 32, magic. And it was a magic episode. Man, listen, I came up with part 2. We're gonna have part 2, you know what I'm saying? We got the safe passage, so talk a little more about that. Talk about just get that energy Angel provided tonight, y'all. I'll listen to the episode tomorrow morning. Like I need that.
Listen to it tonight.
I'll listen to it. She never lied.
Hopefully he put it up first because keep it.
This is dope. I'm gonna be more structured on the number 2.
No, please don't.
No, please don't. Right?
We need all
That's
this.
What's up.
You
That's
came
what's
with the
up.
right everything.
So we'll see y'all next time. Episode 32, y'all. Until next time. See y'all.
Bye.
Peace and blessings.
Dope.
You hit the laptop.
You hit the laptop? Yes, ma'am.